Place value. These are your Unit 3 vocabs. Let's get them in our book and try to understand what they mean. First one I want you to do is place value, and then put your place value chart in. So I cut everything off so it would fit. If you notice with the place value chart, here's our units: ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. We're going up by 10, so we're timesing 10 each time. It would be times 10. Then we hit a decimal. This means these are all whole. The decimal means that we are going to start doing part of a whole. So you notice we now kind of copy 10 and tenths, hundreds, hundredths. When we get past the decimal, that means we're going to get smaller. A tenth is smaller than a 1, because I'm cutting a whole piece into 10 pieces and I only get one of those 10. Here, 100, I'm cutting a whole piece into 100 pieces and I'm only getting one of those. Thousands is getting a lot smaller. 10 thousandths. If you notice, it's 1/110th, 1/100th, 1/1000th, 1/10,000ths. Here, it's at 1/10 of. This is 1/110th of 100th. 1/100th is 1/10 of 1,000. So if we go down here to the standard form, I wrote a whole number, and whenever there's a decimal we say and, 678 thousandths. Word form, 1 and 678 thousandths. If I wrote it in expanded form, 1 times 1, because that represents the whole 1. Then we have 6 times 1/10, because this is 1/10, plus 7 times 1/100th, because this is the hundredths, plus 8 times 1/1000ths. Okay, move on. We got the word benchmark. Benchmark is just a familiar word that you know. 5s, 10s, 25 is a benchmark for me because I count quarters. Then we'll move on to the next page. We have tenths. It's 1 of 10 equal parts, so I did 1/10. I wrote it as a fraction. Here's a quick diagram. I did 10 pieces. 1/100th. I drew a square, and it could look like this, and just do 10 equal pieces. Not quite equal. 1/10 is one of those whole pieces. Both of those represent 1/10. 1/100th is the same thing, but only my square, my array, got cut into 100 pieces, and I get one of those 100 pieces. So when I said the numbers get smaller, it's the opposite of when they're whole. I would rather have a tenth of a piece of candy than 100th. Then we hit the thousandths, and on the thousandths we have the same thing. I have it, and I cut it into hundreds, but then you're going to find there's a representation that goes like this from from just one of those tiny hundredth spots. They broke it into 10 more spots, and one of those little tiny spots is a thousandths. Rounding is just what we've done, or estimating. So 53 point, I round to 50 because 1 to 4 stays the same. 17 equals 20 because the 7 tells the 1 to go up 5 or more. Now you're going to be doing some problems that say 1, 3, 8, round to the nearest tenths place. So I'm going to put what's before it in front of it. I'm going to look what's behind the tenths place. It's an 8, so that tells me to go up. So I'm going to round it to 1.4 if I'm rounding to the tenths place. So you have to underline what they say you're rounding to and go up. Sequence. Sequence is another word for pattern. 10, 20, 30, 40. My pattern is I'm going up by tens. A half, one whole, 1 1/2, 2, 2 1/2. I'm going up by a half. Term is just the numbers that you're using to go up by, is your numbers that you're putting down, 2, 4, 6, 8. The numbers you're putting down in the pattern is a term. Then I want you to add addition and subtraction to your thing, and we will fill these in later. So then I want you to skip 4 pages and stick in the multiplication one just because we need it in. Skip 4 more pages and put the division one in. Okay, then you're ready to rock and roll.